Hello gorgeous woman, welcome back to Love Unleashed TV with Nikki and the Love Unleashed podcast. I'm really excited to have you here today, and this video is for you if you hear the words masculine and feminine thrown around and you are like, what does that even mean? I just wanted to give you some clarity on this today, ladies, so that you can gain a better understanding of what I'm actually talking about when I speak about masculine and feminine energies. So as previously mentioned, masculine and feminine has actually nothing to do with gender. So it's not about male, female. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. However, men generally tend to spend a lot more time in their masculine energy, and women generally tend to spend a lot more time in their feminine energy. This can, and thanks to patriarchal system and feminist movements and all the things, has often pushed women into their masculine, which actually can push men into their feminine as well. But generally speaking, we are designed at a DNA level to spend more time in one of those energies than the other. And the beauty about this is that both energies are actually designed to really beautifully complement each other. So you have your masculine and your feminine, and we come together like the yin and the yang. But what can tend to happen, especially in relationships, is that women, we get frustrated or we get resentful or we get annoyed that things aren't getting done in the time that we want them to be done. And that's because we've got like all the stuff going on in our heads, so that what happens is that we tend to rise into our masculine energy, which is like taking charge, taking control, taking over, taking the lead, which then pushes our men back into feminine. So what are the kind of definition of masculine and feminine? I want to start with a beautiful analogy that I had it explained to me, and it was simply that men are like the stars, the moon, and the sun. They are consistent, they're reliable, they're stable. It's the same thing day in, day out. The sun comes up, goes down, the moon comes up, and the stars come out and it goes down. And it's this beautiful cycle of just consistency. Whereas women, on the other hand, are like a wild weather day in Melbourne. So it's like you wake up and it's sunny and it's beautiful, and then it's like all of a sudden it's windy and blowing a gale, and the next minute it's like storming and like crazy out of control, and then it's lightning, and then the sun's out again. So we're very fluid, we're very like in flow, we're moving and variable and constantly changing, and that's a beautiful part of the feminine energy and the feminine dynamic, but can be really confusing to the masculine. So something that really came up in our relationship was that I would be in my feminine, like fully in my feminine, where I'd be like, oh my God, baby, I love you so much. Like, you're just the best thing in the world. And the next minute I'm like, why aren't you doing what I asked you to do? And like losing it at him. And he's just like, what the heck is this guy? Like, what is going on? And he got to a point where he didn't actually trust me because I was so changeable. One minute I was like, yes, I love you. And the next I'm like, oh my God, you're driving me crazy. He didn't know what to believe, because for him, he is so consistent. Like, he's just like, I love you. That is it. It doesn't really change from that. Yeah, he gets annoyed and things like that, but it's not like the same extent of which the woman, the feminine, can really like go through extreme highs and extreme lows. So what that did for him was built a level of distrust, because he didn't understand that it wasn't actually like we live very much moment to moment, the woman. So we forget about stuff really quickly. So I'll be like, boom, losing it about something, and the next minute I'll be like, oh, I feel good and I love you again. And he's just like, but you were just screaming at me 10 minutes ago. Like, how can you love me? I don't believe you. So for him to actually gain an understanding of we're so variable and that we shift so quickly and everything's kind of changing, where things will happen for him and he kind of holds on to things a lot more. When he finally kind of got that understanding, he could be like, oh, okay, cool. So it's not actually that she's psycho. She's not a crazy woman. She actually is just at a genetic level, at a DNA level, designed that way to be flow, to be fluid, to be ever changing and evolving. And I get to just trust and believe her in any given moment, because it is the truth in that moment. It's just that constant evolution. So really gaining the clarity, and especially if you're struggling with this and your partner doesn't tend to believe what you're saying or doesn't trust you, or is all just like, whoa, what is going on with this one woman circus? Have the conversation with them, look into it, learn a bit more about these energies, so that you can actually sit down and have an open conversation about this stuff together to gain deeper understanding of one another. There's that word again. It always comes back to understanding. I hope you've gotten so much value out of this, my love. And if you have, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode, and that you share it with your amazing friends. Let's get that message out there so that more people can really rise and thrive in love. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you guys very soon.